There's a moment in every person's life when surviving starts to feel like suffocating. When you wake up one morning and realize you've been working hard but not living free. Jordan did everything right. College degree, 9-to-5 job, side hustle. He played by the rules everyone told him would lead to success, but the rules weren't working. That's when it hit him. He wasn't tired from working. He was tired from believing that struggle was normal. He looked around his one-room apartment and whispered to himself, almost afraid to say it out loud, "There has to be more than this." The camera lingers on his face, not angry, not bitter, just empty. Outside, a car horn, a siren. The world moves on. Most people never realize that moment right there is sacred. Because frustration is often the first sign that your spirit's still alive. Before abundance comes awareness. Before freedom comes frustration. And that frustration is holy. Jordan wasn't angry at money. He was angry at the system. The one that told him to trade his time for a paycheck, his creativity for security, and his calling for comfort. He opens his Bible, bookmarked at Proverbs 23:7. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. He reads it twice. This time, the words don't sound religious. They sound real. He finally saw it. He wasn't broke because of what was in his wallet. He was broke because of what was in his mind. Young Jordan at the dinner table, parents whispering about overdue bills. Mom sighs, "We can't afford that." Each word carving belief into his subconscious. See, poverty doesn't start with lack. It starts with language. And the words we hear in our homes become the ceilings in our lives. It's not the paycheck that keeps you poor. It's the programming. But that night, something cracked. Jordan picked up a pen and wrote one sentence in his notebook. "I am not broke. I am becoming." That one line became his lifeline. He didn't start chasing more hours. He started chasing more awareness. He began studying how money really works, not how it's earned, but how it's attracted. How mindset and stewardship move faster than luck and labor. He began replacing the old phrases, "I can't afford it." "How can I make it possible?" "This is too much." "This is preparing me for more." Why me? Why not me? Because the moment you change your words, you start rewriting your world. He hadn't made more money yet, but he had made something far greater. Momentum. And momentum is the language of miracles. The truth is, the first step to wealth isn't in your bank app, it's in your brain. Because your brain doesn't chase truth, it chases belief. And what you continually believe, you eventually build. And in that moment, he made a decision. Not to work harder, but to think higher. I'm done thinking small. And that's where it begins. Not when you make your first dollar, but when you make your first decision. Because the mind that made you broke cannot build your breakthrough. After Jordan's awakening, he started noticing things he'd never seen before. Not with his eyes, but with his awareness. He saw people rushing to jobs they hated, scrolling, comparing, consuming, everyone chasing money, but almost no one free. That's when he realized something most people never question. We don't just live in a system, we're trained by it. From the moment we're born, we're handed a script: go to school, get good grades, get a safe job, don't take risks, save what's left. And if you follow that script perfectly, you might just end up average. But average doesn't build freedom. Average builds obedience. Think about it. We were taught geometry, but not how to manage debt. We learned Shakespeare, but not how to negotiate a salary. We studied the solar system, but not our financial system. Why? Because the system doesn't want thinkers. It wants workers. It wants you clocked in, quiet, and comfortable enough not to question it. Jordan saw how it played out everywhere. The culture of safe choices, the silence around wealth, the guilt of ambition. He remembered growing up hearing, "Money doesn't grow on trees," but nobody ever said, "Money grows from ideas." We were trained to fear failure, when in truth, failure is how faith finds form. The system rewards compliance, not creativity. It pays you just enough to forget your potential. It teaches you that money is the goal, when in truth, money was always meant to be the tool. Jordan walks past a massive billboard, "Work, buy, repeat." He stops, looks up, shakes his head. We're not born to repeat, we're born to rebuild. That line echoed through his spirit for days. He began researching, reading stories of those who broke out, not billionaires, but builders. People who turned pain into purpose and purpose into prosperity. He discovered a pattern. They all unlearned before they earned. Jordan realized that every generation inherits beliefs about money. And until someone questions them, those beliefs rule quietly. It's why people say, "I'm not good with money," or "That's just how life is." But those aren't facts. They're programs. And you can't build abundance with a poverty program running in the background. He started asking better questions. What if wealth isn't evil? What if it's a form of stewardship? What if building wealth is ministry, when it's built on integrity and impact? He realized money doesn't change who you are. It amplifies who you already are. And if you're faithful with a little, you'll multiply with much. The system wants you distracted by numbers, but God wants you aware of principles, because principles produce peace, even before profit. So Jordan made a vow. He would no longer blame the system. He would study it, decode it, and use it to serve, not to survive. And that's when the shift began. The moment he stopped seeing money as something to earn and started seeing it as something to manage with purpose. Because you don't fight a system by complaining about it. You outgrow it by changing how you think inside it. And every system, no matter how strong, eventually bows to someone who knows who they are. The system may have built the rules, but your mind builds your reality. And the moment you reclaim your thoughts, you begin reclaiming your future. Fear. It's the most powerful currency in the world. And most people spend it every day without realizing it. From the moment we're born, fear becomes our teacher. It tells us what's safe, what's possible, what's realistic. And before we know it, our imagination, the thing God gave us to build worlds, gets hijacked by anxiety. Fear isn't always loud. Sometimes it sounds logical. It whispers, "Be careful. Stay comfortable. Don't risk what you have." But what it's really saying is, don't become who you're meant to be. Comparison, the silent thief. The algorithm feeds your insecurity until you start believing that someone else's timing invalidates your own. And that's how fear keeps you broke, not just financially, but emotionally. Jordan started noticing his thoughts like a movie playing on repeat. Every time he tried to move forward, a voice would play in his head. "You're not ready. You're too late. You'll fail like last time." He'd scroll, distract, and postpone the life he was meant to live. Fear doesn't just stop dreams. It rewires the brain. It teaches your nervous system that uncertainty equals danger. But uncertainty is where faith lives. One night, Jordan came across a line in a book that hit him like lightning. Your comfort zone is the most expensive place you'll ever live. He read it twice, then whispered, "I'm done paying rent to fear." That's when he remembered something his grandmother once said. Faith and fear can't share the same space. You'll feed one and starve the other. He realized fear wasn't the enemy. It was evidence. Evidence that he was standing on the edge of growth. Because faith doesn't feel safe. It feels like falling, until you realize God already built the ground beneath you. He began studying his triggers, not to avoid them, but to understand them. Why did investing feel scary? Why did confidence feel like arrogance? Why did success feel sinful? He traced every fear back to a story, a sentence he once believed without question. And in that process, Jordan learned a powerful truth. Every fear is just faith pointed in the wrong direction. When you fear the worst, you're imagining a future without God in it, but when you walk by faith, you're imagining a future built with Him. So he made a new habit. Every time fear spoke, he answered with gratitude. And something started changing. His breathing slowed, his posture lifted. The same city that used to intimidate him now felt like a playground of purpose. Because when fear loses its grip, clarity takes its place. He stopped asking, "What if it doesn't work?" and started asking, "What if it does?" And that single question was the beginning of abundance. Your brain believes whatever story you repeat most. So stop repeating the one written by fear. Because fear is a lie with good production value, and faith is the truth that never stops broadcasting. The mind is a garden. You can plant faith or fear, but you can't harvest both. For years, Jordan had been watering weeds, thoughts of scarcity, failure, and shame. Now, he was ready to cultivate something new. Neuroscientists call it neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself through repetition and emotion. But faith calls it renewing your mind. Every thought repeated with emotion becomes a belief. Every belief repeated with action becomes your life. So Jordan made a rule. For the next 90 days, he'd speak abundance louder than fear. Thank you, God, that I already have more than enough. Teach me to think in overflow, not in lack. At first, it felt fake, like speaking another language. But every time he said those words, his mind started shifting from survival to strategy. He wasn't waiting for abundance anymore. He was preparing for it. Most people think their problem is money, but the real issue is mental bandwidth. When you live in survival mode, your brain can't create. It can only react. Jordan realized he wasn't broke because of lack of opportunity. He was broke because of mental overload. So he simplified. He stopped chasing 10 things halfway and started mastering one thing deeply. He turned his anxiety into systems, his stress into structure, and every small win rewired his brain to expect victory, not chaos. Jordan, wealth isn't just about cash flow, it's about thought flow. The Bible says, "As a man thinketh, so is he." So what thoughts are you circulating? That night he learned that the brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. It only knows repetition and emotion. So when you visualize wealth with gratitude, your brain starts building neural pathways that make faith logical. That's not manifestation, that's partnership. Aligning your mind with God's intention. You're not forcing outcomes, you're preparing capacity. Jordan's phone buzzes. An unexpected bill. His account dips again. He feels the wave of panic rise. The old fear tried to return. The voice whispered, "See, it's not working." But this time, he recognized the pattern. "God, I trust your timing more than my timeline." And with that one sentence, he broke the old loop. He realized abundance isn't proven by the balance in your account. It's proven by the balance in your emotions when things don't go your way. That's where wealth truly begins. It wasn't just about money anymore. It was about identity. Every decision rooted in faith started yielding fruit. Every act of discipline whispered to his brain, "This is who we are now." And that's how reprogramming works, not in giant leaps, but in consistent rewrites. Scarcity had been his language. Faith became his translation. He stopped saying, "I can't afford that," and started asking, "How can I create the value that affords this?" That one shift changed everything. The mind is the soil of destiny. Plant fear, reap limits. Plant faith, reap overflow. Jordan's story isn't about luck. It's about rewiring his mind until abundance became his natural frequency. And now, he's not chasing wealth, he's walking in it. Abundance isn't about how much you have. It's about what you do with what you have. The broke brain collects money. The abundant mind directs it. For the first time, Jordan wasn't just earning, he was stewarding. You don't measure a seed by its size, Jordan. You measure it by what it can produce. Those words landed deep because Jordan realized every dollar, every idea, every opportunity is a seed. And seeds only multiply when planted with intention. So he built a rule for his new season: 70% for living, 20% for growing, 10% for giving. For the first time, order felt like freedom. Boundaries didn't restrict him. They released him. Montage. His business grows. Emails from clients, sales notifications, followers rising. The music picks up tempo. Energetic, cinematic rhythm. Then came the real test. Because success isn't what exposes you, it's what reveals you. The same voice that once whispered, "You'll never have enough," now whispered, "You're the one who made it happen." That's when he learned that money doesn't change your character, it amplifies it. So he made another rule: never upgrade your lifestyle faster than you upgrade your discipline. Nighttime. Jordan working late, vision board glowing in dim light. Words across it: freedom, flex. When your purpose gets louder, distractions lose volume. Jordan learned that focus is wealth. The broke brain tries to do everything. The abundant mind does the right thing repeatedly. He built systems, daily review, gratitude lists, money check-ins, not to control money, but to stay conscious of it. That's what the abundance mindset really is: awareness, not anxiety. Faith gave him clarity. Focus gave him momentum. And that combination? That's how ordinary people build extraordinary lives. Jordan, speaking at a small local event, sharing his journey with young entrepreneurs, people listening intently, inspired. Jordan never set out to be a preacher, but his story became one. He didn't quote spreadsheets, he quoted scripture. He didn't sell formulas, he shared principles. When you partner with God, your business isn't about chasing money. It's about creating value that honors Him. In a world that worships hustle, Jordan built around harmony. He still worked hard, but not out of fear of falling behind, out of gratitude for being chosen to lead forward. Overflow isn't when you have too much, it's when you have enough to share. And the secret? The more he gave, the more doors opened. Because generosity reprograms the subconscious from fear of loss to faith in supply. He wasn't giving to get. He was giving because he'd gotten free. He realized that wealth isn't the destination. It's the reflection of stewardship. He no longer asked, "How much can I earn?" but "How much can I multiply for impact?" The boy who once hated his alarm clock now wakes up excited to create. The man who once feared not having enough now thanks God for having purpose. Because abundance was never about the bank. It was always about the belief. He learned to handle money like a servant, not a master. And in doing so, he finally became free. Breakthroughs don't last without blueprints. Transformation is not just emotional, It's structural. After years of survival, Jordan realized something powerful. You can't live free on accident, you must design it. This was the framework that turned mindset into motion, not a secret formula, a daily system. Every morning before I touch my phone, I pray, plan, and prioritize. 3 P's that rewired his productivity. Pray to align, plan to act. Prioritize to execute. It wasn't about grinding harder, it was about grounding deeper. The first 15 minutes of his day became sacred, because before managing his business, he learned to manage his spirit. Faith shifted his focus from income goals to impact goals. He realized money flows naturally toward those who multiply value. Faith didn't make business easy, it made it anchored. Most people don't lack motivation, they lack clarity. Jordan built a schedule that reflected his priorities, not his impulses. He worked in 90-minute blocks with 10-minute reflection breaks, to think, to breathe, to recalibrate. I stopped asking, how much time do I have? And started asking, how much focus can I give? That one shift tripled his results. Because time without focus is waste, but focus without peace is burnout. The old Jordan avoided his bank account. The new Jordan met it like a business partner. Every Sunday, he'd sit for 1 hour, not to stress over money, but to talk to it. He tracked his progress, celebrated small wins, and prayed over his financial decisions. Faith wasn't an afterthought. It was part of his financial system. He discovered the greatest paradox of abundance. You grow faster when you help others rise. Service became his strategy. He stopped chasing clients and started building community. When you focus on serving deeply, you never have to sell desperately. And that's when his income began to multiply, because impact attracts provision. Jordan wasn't building followers. He was building freedom in others. Every builder needs Sabbath. Every visionary needs stillness. Rest isn't the opposite of work, it's the oxygen of it. He learned that true abundance flows when your mind and body are synchronized with peace. The broke brain runs until it collapses. The abundant mind moves in rhythm. Work, rest, reflect, repeat. He had finally built something that money couldn't buy, a sustainable rhythm of freedom. Faith gave him the why. Focus gave him the how. Systems gave him the proof Jordan didn't just change his bank account, he changed his blueprint. And once the mind learns abundance, the rest of life follows its lead. Freedom doesn't mean owning everything. It means nothing owns you. For years, Jordan had been chained, not by debt, not by failure, but by fear disguised as responsibility. Now he was free, because he had learned to manage what once managed him. Sometimes you have to return to the place where you lost yourself to see how far grace has carried you. He didn't come back to show off. He came to remember the long nights, the empty wallet, the whispered prayers. Abundance had turned him into a giver, because when God fills your cup, He expects you to pour it out. You've come a long way, Jordan. But tell me, what's wealth to you now? It's peace. It's knowing I can wake up without panic. It's knowing that my purpose pays more than my paycheck ever did. Elijah nodded, the kind of nod that says you finally understand. Because the highest form of wealth isn't luxury, it's liberty, the freedom to be who God made you to be. He remembered the boy who used to beg God for more. Now he was thanking Him for enough. Because somewhere along the way, he stopped chasing the blessing and started becoming the kind of person God could trust with it. This was the full circle moment. The day he realized that abundance isn't a destination, it's a relationship. Faith, when stewarded with focus, turns your resources into purpose. You were never meant to serve money. Money was meant to serve your mission. Silent. Then applause builds. That line went viral online. But more importantly, it freed people offline. Because once you stop serving money, you start commanding it with clarity. And the secret? You don't need millions to start living rich. You just need a renewed mind and a reconnected purpose. Jordan's story isn't about escaping poverty. It's about discovering stewardship. Because when you learn to handle small things faithfully, God trusts you with greater things. You don't need to own the world to live abundantly. You just need to stop renting your identity to fear. The greatest evidence of abundance isn't what you hold, it's what you hand down. And Jordan's legacy wasn't his business. It was his belief that when faith meets focus, freedom follows. He started with a broke brain and ended with an abundant soul, because real wealth isn't what you store, it's what you steward. This is the moment your story changes. Not tomorrow, not when the world says you're ready, now. You've seen Jordan's journey. From the silent struggle of a broke brain to the clarity of a mindset built for abundance. And here's the truth, your breakthrough won't come from luck. It won't come from chasing trends or working harder than everyone else. It comes from focused faith and the discipline to steward what God has already placed in your hands. You don't need more hours in the day. You need more clarity in your mind, more alignment in your choices, more courage to step into the person you were made to be. Because abundance isn't a number in your account, it's a reflection of the identity you cultivate every single day. So here's what I want you to do next. Start small. Write down one daily action that moves you closer to abundance. Invest in your growth, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Serve others, even when it costs you time or comfort. Generosity rewires your mind for unlimited possibility. And most importantly, remember this: your past does not define your future. Your circumstances do not limit your calling. Your broke brain can be transformed into an abundant mind, starting today. If this journey spoke to you, don't let it end here. Subscribe and join this community of thinkers, doers, and believers. Comment below. What is the one mindset shift you will take from today? Share this video with someone who needs to hear this truth. Freedom is possible. Abundance is possible. And your best life is waiting on the other side of belief and action. Because abundance isn't about money. It's about the mind you choose to live in.